Hello, I'm Ted from Roarockit. Today I'm going to introduce you to a great new little tool that we have. It's meant to fit on the base of a jigsaw. You take off the flat plate and you take this and you add it to it. What's great about it is that it is three-dimensional, so when it comes time to cutting out your board with the jigsaw, it will travel around a three-dimensional shape on your board, unlike a flat plate that wants to lay flat on it and makes it a little bit awkward to use. The jigsaw kit also comes with a blade. And the blade's very important because you want to create as fine a cut as possible. So we actually recommend a metal blade. It works really well because it has very fine teeth, and so it won't rip the material as you cut through it. What also comes with the saw kit are instructions, and the instructions are quite detailed as to how it attaches to the base of your jigsaw. Different jigsaws require a little bit of a different attachment, and the instructions will definitely help you work through that. One of the things that you always want to do before working on a jigsaw, before attaching your saw kit to it or putting a blade in, is to make sure that you unplug it. Once attached, you can very clearly see that it's very sturdy on the bottom of the jigsaw. Make sure that the back of the blade doesn't touch the foot of the saw kit. If it does, what's going to happen when you start cutting is that it's going to heat up the blade and it'll cause it to warp and distort. The way the saw kit works is that it is rounded on the bottom in two directions, so it's quite three-dimensional. When you're cutting with it, the back of the round is what you want to have touching the piece of wood. Because it's round, it will follow the profile of the piece of wood that you're cutting, whether it's a skateboard or whatever you have. Some jigsaws have a reciprocating action to them. By turning this little knob here at the side, I can either make the blade go straight up and down, or I can make the blade reciprocate like this. What you want to do when operating this and cutting out a board is you want to make sure the blade goes straight up and down. It's a less aggressive cut. It'll take you a little bit longer to cut through your piece of wood, but it'll be a lot cleaner cut. Starting a cut with your saw kit can be a little bit difficult in the beginning. What you want to do is with the jigsaw shut off, you want to bring the saw kit up to the side of the piece of wood with the rounded part balancing sort of like that right there. And you're going to turn it on, but you're only going to turn it on half speed. If you run it full speed, what will tend to happen, especially with a very fine-tooth blade, is that it'll heat up and it'll burn the blade out quite quickly. Half speed is recommended, especially for using a metal blade like what we have. You've brought it up to the edge like this. You're going to turn it on to half speed, and you're going to slowly move it in until you're 1/16 of an inch away from the outside line that you've cut. Taking the blade out to sort of show you the technique that I use. There's two ways of doing this when you're making a cut once you've started to follow your line. One is you can keep the jigsaw always at 90 degrees, basically to the floor or the level of the piece of wood that you're cutting. Or you can take, as you come around the corner, to start to angle it to the face of what the kick is. So it would be like this, coming around like this, okay? It's a preference. You can do either or. It depends maybe what you're gonna do to it afterwards when you go to scrape. Just remember that always keep it 1/16 of an inch away from the line so that you've got lots of material to clean off afterwards. Experimenting with the tool, how it works, is important before you start your final cut on your project. So I would pick a corner or a scrap piece of wood and try using the tool on that first. Get used to it and then commit to your final piece. So I'm going to do my profile cut now. I'm going to start at the edge here, and I'm going to slowly work into to where my line is, but 1/16 of an inch away. Remember that the jigsaw is a cutting tool. It has a sharp blade. So as you're cutting through the material, the blade is penetrating through the bottom of your board. So as you're making your cut, make sure that you have both hands on your jigsaw. What you don't want to do is to be holding your hand in front as you're making your cut, because you can't see your fingers. You don't know where your fingers are below the board. So you do all of your cutting with both hands on the tool. This also will make it a lot easier to control the jigsaw because it's not going to wiggle around as much on you. Okay, if the line starts to wander outside too far, you can shut the tool off, okay, before you pull it out. Bring it back, set it down in like that, and turn it back on, and then recut the line a little bit tighter in. One of the things that you want to do before you remove your jigsaw from the board that you're working on, if you've made a cut and you want it to stop, what you want to do is stop it and then remove it. You don't want to remove it while it's running, because what will happen is the blade's going up and down, it'll bounce against your piece of wood and it'll make a big mark on your board. You can see here where the foot works really well. The board has a real three-dimensional shape there. The foot has a three-dimensional shape, and I'm able to keep it in contact with the wood all of the time. Thanks for watching this video on the Roarockit SawKit. You can reach us either by phone if you have any questions, or you can reach us at roarockit.com or on social media on Instagram or YouTube. Have a great day.